Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your hosts Kyle, Charles, and
CY Chong.
And today we're going to have a brief, well, we say brief, might end up being long, discussion on like video game franchises and games that we played and we really enjoy. So, CY Chong, what sort of games do you play, or like on your Xbox, PlayStation 4, whatever?
Well, you know what? any sort of games, like, you know, it's just more of the title of games. Like, so for example, you've got the Batman's, you've got Spider-Man's action adventure games.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got the first-person shooters like the Call of Duties. Some puzzle games like Catherine.
Yeah.
That is presented in a way that it probably shouldn't have. It's a puzzle game, but it looks a bit. How can I say it?
Suspect.
Yes, it's the best way. Because it looks a bit adult,
yeah.
Even though it's not in that way. And the Dark Souls and Bloodborne, man, those bosses were. But any particular, because I've just listed some that I have played, but maybe we should discuss specifically some.
Yeah, like
what is? Let's choose a game.
I was gonna say genre, but yeah, what game? All right, what game? Actually, no. First, let's go through this. What game are you What you currently playing?
Most recently, what did I just finish? I think the most recent one. What's that game with Eddie and Joel? Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Yeah, not the second one.
The first one.
The first one.
Oh, okay.
The remastered one on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
That's the most recent game I've played. Pretty good, actually. Pretty good. And I did see how... I was about to say Logan, by the way, because this is very similar to that. I'm just saying with the beard and stuff. And the girl, and I was like, okay. Not saying that it's the same, but I was just about to call him Logan for some reason. I was like, oh, Joel, man, you're a character, that's what I can say.
Yeah.
It's like you left the world to die essentially because you didn't want to kill the girl. But I could see how through the intro, when you play it on the second time around, to play on survival, the hard mode, you can see the decisions he makes are not necessarily selfish, but when they're driving away and he's like, leave all the, just get me me and my daughter in the car and go, and you can just see kind of the decisions that he will take after you've played. It's not saying he's necessarily out for himself, but he gets out for his family first. And he just technically kind of he condemned the world.
Kind of like Cabin in the Woods sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I've played that. I haven't completed it yet.
Yeah. No.
So like I'm up to where am I up to? Where you got to restore power back into the hospital.
Oh, that's at the end.
Is it? I don't know.
No, power to the hospital. The Firefly Hospital.
I have no idea. I haven't played in about 2 years.
I'm just saying, strange enough, and this is a weird thing. So I was playing on survival, the hardest mode, where you get minimal bullets and all that stuff.
Yeah. And
oddly, I find sometimes if you just rush from the beginning of the level to the end of the level, you don't need to make stealth all those kills and stuff like that. You can just, like, I think at the point the AI hasn't moved to certain places. Yeah. Because they expect you just to run through it.
You're moving too fast for the script to sort of catch up to, isn't it?
Well, they walk in. They've got their patrols, and then they expect you to not just run through past their patrol because they make their turns and stuff. Yeah. Like that. So you're supposed to be at a certain point where they can start seeing you, for example. But if you just boom, if you flash right to the end,
you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like they were like, huh? Well, So I find that it's very helpful because you have bullets to fight people. Yeah, that means the people, the things that can hit you. That's kind of a different case. Yeah, because then if you start running, you get a swarm of them, and then
you're dead anyway.
And I did have to use the shiv glitch when I was playing this on survival because the materials are very scarce. But it was quite an enjoyable game. I spent a bit of time on it. Survival horror. It kind of brought me back to how I think Resident Evil should be. But now Resident Evil's more of an action franchise, and you can't turn it back now. You can probably make a side story where they do other things, but
with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and 8 Village, which I have no interest in.
8
Village, yeah.
No, 7's the Village, right?
No, 8's the Village. Yeah.
Oh, right.
7's the one in the house. 8's the new one that's coming out.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like 7, they've sort of gone back to survival horror, but it's first person. 8 is werewolves in it, so I thought I just jumped off with it. I'm done.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Resident Evil. But to be fair, with Resident Evil, just sidetrack, I sort of enjoy the action ones more because I'm more of an action game person. So like,
Well, here's the thing. Here's the oddity. Silent Hill is more in the template and spirit of the original Resident Evil than the rest of the Resident Evils. And I do like the style of Silent Hill because it's what's in that mist, what's in that fog ahead of you. Like, anything could come and kill you. What's that creepy radio static that you've got there? Something's coming at you. Like, I like that tension.
Yeah. Even though the foggy in Resident Evil, not Resident Evil, why did I say Parasite Hill? Silent Hill was graphical problems. So like, let's do this.
No, but now they made it a signature.
Yeah, it makes they brought that. They helped that flaw elevate the game. Yeah.
But as far as we were Last of Us. Yeah. So that was good quality game. I would advise you to finish it.
Yeah, I will.
But if you don't, I guess you can just.
No, I sort of have to because my friend lent me Last of Us 2. So yeah, I need to.
Also, I don't know about the controversies about that, but
yeah,
I haven't played it. I can't say. I mean, it might be a good quality story that everything that happened is relevant.
Yeah.
But as far as I can't criticize, because what can I say about a game I haven't played to that degree to understand why people are saying whatever they're saying. Okay, so but the game I played before that, Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man.
Yes, great game.
Yeah, all those side missions where you got to get backpacks and all that stuff. I know it's just kind of, in a way, it's to extend the life of the game. The first time around I got everything. The second time around is like, no, I'm just going to go through the story because you got the suits. You don't really need But the story is really good. I like how it's the mix of Peter Parker stuff and Spider-Man stuff, and how other characters in the world like Miles and Mary Jane also have to do stuff. Now, Mary Jane being Lois Lane, okay, fair enough. They made it relevant to the plot rather than Spider-Man's girlfriend. Fair enough. Miles Morales being the most beefiest 50-year-old I ever seen. Well, kid, you got. Are you taking something? Either that, or you got great genes and genetics. Because, dude, man, you like you're an athlete, boy.
Yeah. It's a great game. I love that game. Like you're saying, the side missions that even I done my second run through a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And I was live streaming all that, but I even did the little side bits for that because I thought they were quite interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't clock it the second time around though. I'm got up to the bit where you fight. I've beaten 4 of the Sinister 6.
Yeah.
So I said the last bit with like the whole breaking into Osborn's house, getting the little bits. The Mary Jane bits for me were a bit tedious. Even the Miles bits as well. It was like, I'm just being a low budget Metal Gear Solid at the moment. But it worked for the story, so I can get around it. I didn't mind it. It is what it is. Waiting for the sequel. Well, not the sequel, the glorified add-on. Sorry, that is Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah,
looks interesting. It's only gonna be about 5 hours long though, so I hear. So
hey, look. I mean, they might have been either make it a DLC, like an extended DLC, like it's a.
Apparently, that's what originally was meant to be.
Yeah, but not its own game. That's a bit odd.
Yeah.
But I hope what they do is use Miles' other powers well integrated to the game, rather than because obviously Peter's got different suits that can different abilities, and he's the scientist as well that you can make up for stuff, but. They have to make Miles different enough that he's not just simply reskinned Peter Parker.
Yeah, no, the gameplay
is less capable and able because he's learning at this point.
Yeah, but the only my sort of like qualms with the game is the sort of the story, like how the first one ends. Spoiler, whatever. Peter takes Miles under his wing, whatever, to train him, and even in the DLCs. Of it, there's little hints of him talking to Miles like, I'll take you out web slinging later, blah 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 blah.
Yep.
And then you thought, okay, cool. Next game, you will train Miles and all that stuff, so you get to play as both of them.
Probably a training mode at the beginning. You can
but like this game, it's set like 6 months or a year later or whatever. So Miles has got all the, not experience, but you just jump into that. Like, but where's the sort of payoff where you see Miles learning and then he gets to be comparable, you know what I mean? Rather than just jumping like, yeah, this is Miles' game, woo. Yeah, that's my only problem with it. I think
I haven't seen enough to say what I think they're going to do or not. It's just if they are just it's going to be Miles' training mode essentially.
No, it's literally 6 months into the. He's been Spider-Man for like 6 months, and you've seen him like swinging around doing awesome things. So it's like, yeah,
they've got to distinguish him from Peter Parker enough to make the game interesting. That's basically as much as I can say, because he's got no notable characters that integrate into the game. They're all Spider-Man, like all Peter Parker villains.
Oh no! In the game, they've got like some, because you know they basically brought his villains from like his universe into the main universe, whatever. So there's some of them in that game. You see them.
No, I'm just saying in the universe of where the game is based.
Yeah.
Are they using Miles Morales' specific villains? Which I don't think he has too much, but
they use it because, like I said, I think it's like a DLC. So I'll probably be like 3 villains you fight or whatever.
Oh, okay, maybe.
But it's just be good. Well, they could have done more and waited rather than we got PS5 coming out. Let's put this out, sort of thing. You know what I mean? It's a bit. That's just my personal gripe.
But the rest of the game you're saying is, I mean, in your opinion,
rest of the game.
As my opinion, we're agreeing. Like, it's really good. It's
really
good mix of. It's an action adventure game integrated with the characters' alternate personas. To tell a good story.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the Doctor Octopus final battle could have had like a third part to it. As in, you find him in the tower, he does his thing, and then you have not necessarily a fifth part one, but one more like he's flailing his tentacles around, and you have to dodge through them to get to hit him.
Yeah.
And then the third bit, but no, it's minor gripe. I did like how also the use of the Sinister Six, they did actually use the grunts.
Yeah.
But the guys were lower tier enough for them to be like, okay, these can never be the main character of a game, the main boss or of any game. So we'll just use them here as the minions.
Yeah.
And they've saved other characters for later on. And probably going to do Harry Osborn as Venom. That's where they look like they're going. But we'll see. We'll see if they actually do that. So, but I am interested in it. So, Miles Morales one is not a sequel.
No,
so I'm interested to see where they actually do a sequel.
It's going to be a good game, nonetheless.
Comparatively, though.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Batman games?
Batman games.
So we're going to count. So Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Origins.
Yeah. Well, all wrong, but yeah. Another great series of games. I remember playing the first one. I remember finding out about the first one, so I got really hyped about it. So I bought the limited edition one. We get the Batarang with it and everything. Yeah. It's hanged up on my wall at my room. That game revolutionised gaming in general. I personally think, because lots of like games after that sort of took their whole fighting style, like you know, one button to attack, one to block, and all that stuff. Like they use that in the Lord of the Rings games because it's sort of made by a similar company, if I remember correctly. No, it's not. That's EA.
No, you're Rocksteady. Rocksteady making these games.
Wait. Yeah, because like in Mad Max and they use the same sort of fight mechanics. Even Spider-Man to a limited extent used that in the main Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
The stories, I love them as well. People say the Arkham Knight storyline fell off, but I don't agree with that.
I did like they used Hugo Strange as a villain here, because not necessarily who knows Hugo Strange, but he's actually like, okay, well they went back into history. Who knows about who? Like, well done. This guy who's obsessed with Batman, most logically speaking, trying to work out who Bruce Wayne is, which he does set up the motion of the game. I did like Arkham Asylum. Just before we move on tonight, into City, I did like how it was confined to the island. Yeah, and you had to take out all the people on the island to progress. So it was well done there because they made use of the small area where the island is.
Yeah.
And when you move into the city, it gets bigger. Now I can understand, of course, as well, how you would have to in character stay as Batman.
Yeah.
Because you can't really do anything on the island as on Arkham Asylum. If you go there, why is Bruce Wayne doing
why is Bruce Wayne here? Yeah.
and not only that,
two together.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas City, I know he starts off as Bruce Wayne, but I thought, okay, what's going to happen here is at some point you can go through a task being a Bruce Wayne because you less gadgets and you can't really fight that well because you have to pretend, but you got money to bribe people and other sort of small things that you can do as Bruce Wayne. And it would be added a bit more variety to the style of things. Instead of going from building, landing on the top of it, working your way down, you could just enter through the front by bribery and get you know, like how they integrated Peter Parker stuff into Spider-Man. And I thought, okay, but they didn't do that. And I was like, oh, it's a missed opportunity there because.
But they sort of written themselves out of that in the beginning because like the whole whoever get me Bruce Wayne's head gets $1 million whatever. So it's like if you're going around Bruce Wayne,
that's fair. I just thought when I started playing it as Bruce Wayne, I was like, are they? But they didn't.
Yeah. Quite bad about it. I hate Bruce Wayne. I don't hate Bruce Wayne.
No, I'm just saying. But he could have added a bit more variety to the game.
Yeah. That's why I added Catwoman. She added variety.
What do you think of is that you're concluding your thoughts on?
I was going to say like the story in City is really good, and like the thing no one saw coming, which I did. I was like, oh wow, a bit.
Oh yeah, no, go on, say it.
I was going to say the whole Joker dying. Like, oh wow, that's Especially like Batman says, I was going to save you. He's like, oh, that's funny, and he does like.
Yeah. I did also like how so we're gonna go to Arkham Origin. No, that they came out, right?
Yeah.
Arkham Origin. Now they did Bane dirty from Arkham Asylum to Arkham City, and Arkham Origin made him like the number one nemesis in that. And I'm like, right, I can see this character leading these troops to do this thing, and he's a smart brute. He's the worst kind of brute you could have because he not only can fight you but outthink you. And then he got overdosed with venom and became stupid. Which I'm like, chronologically, I'm like, all right, fair enough. I can see how you get from this point to this point.
Even though I also admit to Batman giving him brain trauma from at the end, we repeatedly punch him in the face. So brain.
Wait, in the not in the movies.
No, in Origin when you fight Bane at the end, you repeatedly punch him in the face, and that gives him brain trauma. That's why he's dumb in the first. In Arkham.
Okay.
So that's my little weird connection to that. Yeah, I like that and the whole twist. Even as a real twist that Black Mask is pretending. No, Roku pretends to be Black Mask.
Yeah.
And he exposes the whole city to Batman because I was playing it yesterday. And it's like when he exposes Batman and was like, for the last 2 years we thought this guy was a myth, and now here's live footage of the Batman.
Yeah.
It's a really great game, even though the voice actor is different and all that stuff.
Oh no, I think they sound not too dissimilar. Where you'd be like, okay, this is distinctively different, but it's like, okay, they sounded younger.
Yeah, so it's got weight. So it's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
and like even has hints to the early Batcave
now,
and all that stuff.
I will say the continuity of these games are a bit sketchy.
Yeah,
because Rocksteady Montreal did Arkham Origins.
Yeah,
which Rocksteady. Kind of, they don't count, but they don't not count. So it's like, well, but I think they tried the best they could to work in a story there that was happening without contradicting anything else.
Yeah,
they did what they could.
And then moving on to Night, because in Night they even refer back to Origins. I was like, oh, that's good. Like the whole when you fight Deathstroke, he's like, you're not gonna best me again. You know, oh yeah, that's a call back to Origins. That's good. So I like that. Night. I thought the gameplay itself was a lot more solid than the other ones.
Yeah.
Story was better. Obviously, the graphics on that were better because it's on the next gen. Or current gen right now. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And the Batmobile stuff. It was fun at first. It gets a bit repetitive, and the tank battles were a bit annoying.
Oh, I don't like the. So okay, ideally. Because it's a big tank, you would have thought, logically speaking, I know it slides around too much, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, so it's big enough though, like in the tank in Dark Knight, where you could
Yeah.
a motorcycle could pop out of it, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then the grip is different. The driving is different with the motorcycle. If you had the motorcycle, obviously it's going to be way less armor, but
Yeah.
faster. So you'd have to be like maneuverability versus vulnerability. But they didn't do that. It's like, well, if you did a motorcycle, for example, at least it give you different. If you can't drive the way that the tank is,
Yeah.
you could drive a different grip, and you maybe get used to that. I don't think they had a missed chance there just for certain things.
I
But
think-
I didn't like the drive. That tank is awkward and clunky, man.
When you're driving as a Batmobile, it's fine. But with the tank, you're saying it's annoying. But only like you're saying about the bike and stuff. Storyline wise, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you got those sentry tanks that are going around, and even just people on the street just walk up to you to stab you, stuff like that when you're on that. So get that whole that. Going on to the story now. I would say for me, Orange is the favourite story of mine.
Yeah.
Second would be Arkham Knight.
Right.
Even though there's a bit where people say it falls apart with you find that Jason Todd's Arkham Knight or whatever rubbish.
Wow.
Even though who else would it be?
Yeah.
And people get angry about it, like, well, they told us it's going to be a new character. Yeah, the Arkham Knight's a new character.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
But I like the whole, Jason didn't die. He just got kidnapped
Yeah.
and was tortured for years. Actually, he could have died. I don't really.
Well, it's one of those. I'm gonna say it's like situations where I don't even know if it's implied or not.
Yeah.
But he could have just died from because he shot him.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
he shot him, but that doesn't mean that he died.
Yeah.
It was just implied because
Yeah.
you can survive a gunshot wound.
Yeah.
Especially in this universe where you can
Plus, it's
can get your arm broken in the street and survive.
Yeah. Plus, it's all in Batman's head, so yeah, you don't really know that stuff because it's not really Joker telling him, innit? It's his subconscious.
Infected by the Joker.
Yeah. Actually, he could have because Ra's al Ghul's in that.
Well, look. I thought it was a nice, tidy end of it. The graphics look great, as you were saying. The mini quests and stuff like that, like all the other stores. They elevated Scarecrow.
Yeah.
From not necessarily a side character, but it's like, okay, now we need a new lead villain to replace the Joker.
Yeah.
Scarecrow will do us.
And plus, this game was a lot darker, so it made sense to have the Scarecrow as the main sort of villain.
Not mental issues, but he was like play along.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. All about the mind.
Yeah.
Unless they could have just done it with Mad Hat, but then you're not gonna buy Mad Hat as a A-tier villain.
Yeah. And yeah, even they had like Professor Pig in that, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Who's technically a new-ish villain.
Yeah. They did work deep into the Rogues Gallery to come out with stuff.
The only thing annoying about it was after you beat Scarecrow and then you does the Dark Knight Protocol like rubbish, whatever. And then if you haven't collected all the stupid Riddler missions, you can't get the full ending.
Yeah.
Which to this day, 5 years on, I haven't done it.
I had to. I mean, I don't say I had to, but it was just like, no, Riddler, you're all right in Arkham Asylum because it's on the island. I can get everything. Arkham City, fair enough. It's only a section of the city. But when you get the whole city, you're like, you bastard.
Yeah, I just
you bastard. But I can't let you get the satisfaction of getting away. And I'll do all 400 of these things just to punch you in the face at the end.
No, I just like, turned off.
Yeah.
Went on YouTube. So I'm not wasting any more time on this. Like, if I knew this from the beginning, I would have done it during the as we're going along. But when you've completed it, you're like, I don't want to go back and do all this rubbish. And then hopefully the new one when it comes out, Arkham Knight, Gotham Knights, be good, even though it's not set in that same universe. But
here's the awkward thing. It seems to me like you could. The way they market it is you could consider it.
Yeah.
But it might not be, and you don't have to worry.
Yeah.
The awkward thing is Batgirl is around in that, but she's in a wheelchair. However, if they work out, and Damien's in it, Batman.
No, it's Tim Drake apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, it looked like Damien to me.
No,
but to be fair, they don't say who it is, they just call it Robin. So, no, but Tim Drake is in the Arkham games, and he does not look like that.
No, they went more... young MMA.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's not a continuation then.
Yeah.
Straight up alternate continuity.
Yeah.
Then. All right, fine.
Even I reckon if they wanted to, they could say like if they decide at one moment, oh yeah, it is in continuity. It's easy to sort.
Yeah, well, I think the way they could just do it is like a these standard do these things. Yeah. Oh, there was a crisis, and then the timeline changed a little bit.
Something like that.
So this is a continuation, but the characters look slightly different. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but I know the Suicide Squad game that's set in the Arkham universe.
Oh, with Samoa Joe, you know.
Yeah, as King Shark, innit?
Yeah.
I was like,
that's
more reason for me to buy this.
But mind control Superman, people are saying, oh, let's come on. No, I think it'd be more, in a way, better if it wasn't mind control Superman. If they did it where they got to hunt down Superman, it's going to be hard. But they just like the only time that Superman's ever the enemy in the games is his mind control. Yeah. Even in Injustice, where he's straight up evil.
Yeah.
But if you were playing as, for example, the Injustice League, and you had to take on the Justice League at their peak, that'd be good in a role reversal kind of game.
Yeah.
I know the Suicide's probably close you can get as villains as the main characters that aren't truly villains.
Yeah.
They're just on the opposite side. They're doing a mission.
Yeah.
However, once you put like evil Superman in there, who's not literally Superman gone evil.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, we take him down because he's now bad.
Yeah, makes sense. But I don't think it'll be. I already know you weren't going to kill him. He'll be mind controlled.
Yeah, exactly. He'll do something to nullify whatever's got the grip of him. Unless, of course, at the end he just goes, do you undo the mind control, and then nothing happens. It's like he was evil all along.
Because I reckon they'll put in like C-list characters and stuff like that. Well, they'll let you kill because C-list characters, no one cares. But you ain't gonna kill none of the main ones.
Oh yeah. I want to sidetrack and talk about what you think about the Suicide Squad movie, but we're gonna have to. That's not.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to quickly surface something on this and then move on.
Just be brief if you want.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna say I like that James Gunn has so many of these characters here, and you don't know who can live, who die. But I don't want to say it's typical James Gunn. It's great because it's like who's gonna survive, who is like they are the Suicide Squad. They are gonna be done.
But you
and
already
it makes
know
sense with the title of the movie.
But you already know who is going to die. Who isn't going to die. You already know that.
Well, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Idris Elba's character was in Bloodsport and
John Cena.
And Captain Boomerang. They're not going to die.
Well, you never know.
Nah, they ain't going to.
No, okay, let's just say on the scale of probability, they've got less chance of dying, but that doesn't mean that they won't die. Nah. Yeah, let's put it that way.
I'll bet on it that they're going to die.
Oh, they're not going to die.
They're not going to die. I'll bet on that right now.
Okay, fine. All right. Moving on. Moving back to the actual video games, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have you played? Like, aside from those?
I currently on and off playing a Japanese RPG called Persona 5 Royale.
All right.
That's if you're into like Final Fantasy and that. Mm-hmm. And you want a more of a grounded, humanized story, I'll say play it. Like, it's about... I haven't played any ones before. I've only played this one. It's about teenage kids in Japan who have the ability to go into another realm and they get powers called their persona, so it's like their inner manifestations.
Alright.
And you're basically dealing with weird plots like a teacher manipulating students to do things, bullies.
Because I thought it was going to go to Nightmare on Elm Street territory there, but you worded it like. But you've been saying is you worded it like a teacher manipulating students like. Right. The only way you could have got worse was if you said it was a priest and school and choir boys. No, but no, you weren't even going in that direction. You course corrected yourself. You actually were saying, making them do. I cannot even word this in any way that's not sounding like what it's going to sound like. But you're manipulating them to do bad things, but not the bad things.
No, it is that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's balls on the game right there.
In the game, literally the first boss you sort of deal with that, and then. Yeah, and it's about building relationships with friends.
What age rating is this game?
I think it's a 15 or 18. Because there's swearing in it.
Okay.
So you've got to build relationships with people, and their relationships help you get stronger.
Okay.
And there's a big twist in it. I haven't got that far though. My friend's telling me. So basically, it all starts with You know, it's one is like the film where it starts at the end, then it works its way backwards.
Yep.
So yeah, and so it starts with your character who's called Joker, and you're getting interrogated for like a crime, and then it goes back to the beginning and it tells you how you got to this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're into that sort of game, play it, but you have to like dedicate 100 hours to the game. That's
okay. Let me say this. The last time I played the game, I spent over 100 hours on. Were the Dark Souls games, Dark Souls 1 and 2, and Bloodborne, and I spent about 200 hours, I think, on Dark Souls 1 because you can play. Yeah, I like to get all the items, and stuff like that. So you have to play through about 2.5 times because you have to get to a certain point that you can create a new item. Yeah. Like, oh man, and this game they're hard, right? They're hard, but they're good. Sometimes the bosses can kill you in like 3 hits, and you're like, oh man, this is. And you do chip damage to them.
Yeah, oh god.
But you know, when you kill them, you get good satisfaction. It's just a bit. I'm not saying necessarily clunky, but it's just like when you can get wiped out. And then when you chug the healing drink, it's not like instant heal. You have to take a couple. It takes a couple of seconds. You have to run off, go and try and heal, while you could get swacked across the face.
Yeah.
But number one, what I liked in this is the way you can wear different style armor. It gives you more
stat boosts and stuff.
No. I want to say. Walking integrity. So you could wear heavy armor. On the thing that you have to just stand there and fight. Yeah. You could be like a juggernaut, no selling everything, just hitting it with your weapons, and you're not getting staggered back. Yeah. The armor will just take the damage because it's so heavy, but you can't really maneuver in it.
Yeah.
Whereas then some things they are more heavy and swipe across the screen, so you need lighter armor to roll back and forward and that stuff. Because your stamina bar is what you have to be aware of as well. Okay. So it was good on number 1. I think number 2 kind of did away with that.
Yeah.
Didn't really integrate that into its gameplay, and I was like, oh man. But Bloodborne is good as well because in Dark Souls you have a shield that you can parry, but in Bloodborne the mechanic is you have a gun and you have your weapon, and I want to say you parry with the gun, but you stagger with the gun. You stagger them, so if they're about to do an action and you come towards you, you have to wait for the right opening, and if you shoot them, they'll step back, and then you can run in there and do a critical damage attack.
Okay, yeah.
And some of these bosses are such jokers. I got the cannon in Bloodborne. Really powerful, strong weapon. And basically one time, you can load up the cannon you can do the thing where you boost your shots. So you start off with like I think a certain amount of shots, 20 I think, and then you can boost it to 4. And then you can empower the shot.
Yeah.
And so I just cannoned a boss twice because I was overpowered. I cannoned it twice, and it was done and done. I was like, yes, because all this time these bosses do it to me. How do you feel? Wow. Oh yeah, I mean that's one game that I spent hours on. Great stuff. It's like once you kill all these things, you're like, wow.
You feel achievement.
Yeah, as much as it's like to say not to downgrade. Oh, I just beat a boss in a video game. But when the boss is like one time. Smorgon Ornstein, these tag team bosses I was fighting in the church, they killed me, and then I didn't touch the game for 2 years. 2 weeks.
About
2 years? No, for 2 weeks. I was like, these bastards right here. No, it can't be, because when you just get so close sometimes, and you're just like, AG Styles will throw the pad and break it. But I was like, no, just put this down, come back to it in 2 weeks' time. Come back to it. I'll come back to when I come back to it.
Yeah.
And then because you lose so many times at a certain point you're like, right, just need to get right headspace for this. Leave it be for the moment.
That's why I can't play those sort of games. I like from my perception of these games, it just seems that you just take losses after losses after losses, and you don't enjoy it. Sort of things. So, I play games to enjoy, but then something like that, because even an example, I play Call of Duty a lot. If I lose 3 games in a row, I'll turn it off for a bit. I'm you know what, I'm not enjoying this. I'll do it like that.
But you're playing Call of Duty, which one?
The Modern Warfare.
I have to say, of all the games, all I've played is Black Ops. Oddly enough,
least favourite of my.
Well, it's all right, but I'm not really a fast-person shooter kind of guy. What can I say about that? I mean, I did play Spec Ops: The Line as well, but I don't really play first-person shooters.
Well, Spec Ops more third-person though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, but I'm not about. I don't know. It's just those games are more like online play.
Yeah.
But I don't like to play online that much, and I don't. So I can't say I have an opinion on those games.
Yeah.
I will say though, in Call of Duty, where there was one level where there was about the scientists, and you're in the computer room. You have to shoot down the hallway.
Yeah.
And there was all these other soldiers, and I'm like, okay, all right, it's on hard. What I'm gonna do? So the checkpoint's just around the corner. So what I'm gonna do is wait for the computer to send me all the cannon fodder, and I'll just shoot them all down. And eventually, we'll run out of cannon fodder. Right? No, they just keep on.
Yeah.
They just keep on coming, and like, man, I should just mad dash down there. In that case, get to the checkpoint, die, but then I'll reload at that checkpoint.
Yeah.
Which, but it's just like it's a bit awkward. When you're expecting, the computer's just going to run out of enemies to throw you. Not necessarily I say in real life, but at some point.
But at some point. But yeah, because that's how them Call of Duty sort of work. There's, would say they're sort of rail games, like literally you got to go to a certain point for anything to happen. If not, just keep doing the same loop over and over again. So yeah,
I see as well. Partially about these games that I'm not hugely fond of is when you adjust the difficulty. And it's not necessarily like they're more troops, or they're smarter, or they try to use different tactics, or they're armed better. What they are is artificially they shoot but much better, and they're much more accurately.
Yeah.
And so when I'm hiding, and I pop up to see where the enemy is, and I line my shot right at the enemy, so I'm up and down, wait for a break in their shot, and yet somehow they pop up, shoot. And get near him, like take a bit of my life, and but basically I'm there almost not waiting for you necessarily, but if I pop it up, I'm basically going to be the exact shot lined up for you.
Yeah.
So I could just pop up, fire off, and if he's there, but somehow I don't get him, but he gets me. It's like, how can you react quicker than me? Press the button. I don't like those sort of artificial difficulties adjustments.
But sometimes stuff like that, you got to figure out, okay, cool, I've got to do a different way about it. Yeah, but I know what you mean, that sort of artificial.
It's not how you would expect if you're saying hard.
Yeah.
Like for Last of Us, less weapons and the enemies are harder to take down. It's fair enough. But just those. Yeah, I just think, okay, you're not making it harder to be harder. You're
just making it unrealistic. Yeah,
you're making it difficult. And it's not. That's not what I mean when I want to make it more difficult.
Yeah, that's like game like Gears of War sort of does the opposite. Like it does like Last of Us. Like it give you less ammo and stuff like that. So you got to be obviously more cautious.
Which Gears of War have you played?
All of them.
All right, so I played 1 and 2. I have 3 and Judgment. I just never got around to playing them. But I will say Horde mode, man, that was quite enjoyable. I had loads of games on that with my buddies. And I think we did manage to do Horde mode one time where we cleared all 50 levels. Yeah. And one of my friends, he never died once during the... And he didn't get took down to critical. Because I don't say, he's hiding behind us and sniping, but he was... We worked out what we needed to do. Yeah. And we had to treat 2 guys at the front, like, with the shields, people in the house... People sniping, so everyone knew their places. Yeah. Obviously, though, you get too many things coming at the front sometimes, and
then they become like the frontline deaths.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got to go and like heal them.
No, but that was very enjoyable. I had loads of games on. I enjoyed that more than the capture the flag and all those stuff, because sometimes your teammates didn't team up with you, and some people they do a John Rambo. And you're like, where are you? You got to go and heal you. Why are you so far? Why are you across the other side of the map? What are you doing?
Like, I play multiplayer on loads of games a lot, like Call of Duty and all that, Gears of War. Like, that's the problem. You get these people that it's a team-based game, but they're out for it themselves. Like, dude, this is why we lose, because we're meant to be working as a team, but you're running off like halfway down the road to
one time I think it was capture the flag or something like that. One of those rounds. No, it was team multi-kill sort of thing. Yeah. So this one guy was down, and the entire team ran over to try and finish, like just a gun button to finish him off with jokes. This one guy on our team decided to put a grenade on him. Yeah. And then roll away. So and then the guy blew up and took all 4 of us down with him. See. I'm like, what?
It's insane. It's like That's teamwork. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's just.
No, that's adversity work. You should have done that.
If he was the last person, then yeah, that makes sense. But
No, because like you respawn and stuff like that. I was
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't have done that, but he did it for. He just seemed to do it for the jokes of it. It was like kind of funny, but not.
Cause like yeah, cause like yeah, when those games came out, like me and my friends used to literally like start from like 9 o'clock at night, and then it'd be like 6 in the morning. Just didn't realize, oh wow, this is.
Oh yeah.
Lucky we're all at home.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to be honest, man. I burnt out a console playing it for 6 hours. The Xbox 360, 6 hours a day after of coming back from work and stuff like that. It's like I didn't need to do that. Why am I spending this little burning?
Yeah.
I was like, just not necessary sometimes. But when you have Xbox Live, and your friends are on, you're like, wow, man, I spent a lot of time.
I would just disappear.
I mean, that's why I think I'm not on live anymore because like spending too much time on it. The burnout console, had to buy another one, so like, well, that's money.
Yeah, it's just bad, but like you just get distracted.
I could have just not played, but you know how it is.
Like, it's easier said than done. Isn't it?
Yeah.
If everyone's online, you're like, yeah, I've got to play.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna play with these guys. It's like, oh, I'm gonna chat with them as well and stuff, like catch up. But sometimes it just gets away from you.
Yeah. Other game series is that I enjoy playing. I think you might have played these as well. The Metal Gear franchise.
So I played. Actually, okay. So Metal Gear. There's Metal. No, okay. So I had Metal Gear on the 360, which had Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, and there's Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3,
and Portable Ops.
Yeah.
Okay.
But within Metal Gear Solid 3 actually has Metal Gear.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I played Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I haven't played Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, though I do want to play that. I just didn't get around to it. It wasn't Portable Ops, it was something else actually, I think it was. But I played Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3.
Oh, not Portable Ops, sorry. It's Peace Walker.
That's it. 2 and 3. And then from then on, I haven't played 4, I haven't played 5, I haven't played anything after that.
Missing out, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do want to see how the story ends. But I do. The gameplay was great. I've played Twin Snakes as well, but when you can backflip onto a rocket and surf it, it's like, wow, this is a.
Hey, from apparently Hideo Kojima says that's what he originally wanted to put in the game. That's why he did it.
It's like you do the glory for the sake of doing the glory, rather than logic. But hey,
when you think about it now, it all makes sense because all the other Metal Gear Solid games, obviously because they had the graphics to do like the insane things, it makes sense they did it. So like obviously because the PlayStation 1 was limited, hence
I preferred to be fair. I want to say I preferred the Metal Gear Solid 1 because it was more actually grounded in reality, but it's just more. Look, it's just one guy doing the mission. He's a good soldier. Not the greatest one that ever lived.
No, he's the greatest one that lived at that point because.
Well, no, he's a clone of the greatest one.
Yeah, but at that point,
he had the inferior genes as well.
Yeah,
so.
but at that point, he was credited as the greatest soldier that lived because even in Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, Snake's Revenge.
No, Snake's Revenge is not Metal Gear 2.
Or whatever.
No, because they did make Snake's Revenge, which
one's the American version.
Yeah.
But anyway, Big Boss says to him, "You're the greatest soldier." Oh. So, just saying, it makes sense to all the.
Well, I'd argue that Liquid Snake is probably the actual greatest soldier. Genetically,
but no.
Okay, but all that great story. I played it multiple times. It was great. What can you say about the mechanics? Is refreshing and new for what the game was, and then a whole bunch of things kind of imitated it, like Siphon Filter. And, what's the other one?
Splinter Cell, technically.
Yeah. I mean, they look. There was the rise of the stealth game after that, so that shows you its impact. Yeah,
like I said, that's like Metal Gear 2.
Parts of even Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man and Batman, when you're hiding and stuff like that, the Predator mode in Batman. I'm just saying, I don't want to say I was necessarily inspired by Metal Gear, but I'm just saying it's just more of right before Metal Gear Solid, it was action adventure.
Yeah, it's like its own genre sort of
Yeah.
thing. But I was saying, those games are like my not go-to games. I don't replay them, but like I would say they're my favorite, like story-wise, because even though the story is so weird and convoluted, and then
No, one's pretty straightforward. I think Metal Gear Solid 1 is pretty straightforward.
Well,
Loads of twists and turns within it, and good character development.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is number 2 is wacky.
No, but like if you like take all as a whole, even connecting it, the story just weird and convoluted, and
I didn't really like number 2. I have to say, not because I was riding and stuff like that. It's just the story wasn't. It was too, as much as they were saying it was Solid Snake Simulation, the SS, the Triple S thing.
Yeah.
It was too much of a Solid Snake Simulation. It's like, oh, I'm basically playing 1 again, except for with less interesting characters and less variety of bosses.
Number 2's got more character development in it, really, because I'd say number 2 is probably my favorite in the story. Is one of the first in the story, because like you got the whole Raiden trying to not become what they're telling him to be. So he's got the whole with the whole backstory of Rose saying like, when I first met you, your bedroom was just a bed, a desk, and that was it. And obviously he tells you about him being a Iberian soldier and why he's like messed up in the head. And the Patriots and that are trying to make him be something they want him to be. But Snake's like, destiny's not picked for you. You choose your own destiny. So that shows a more character development rather than like in the first one, which is Snake.
Well, here's the thing. In the first one, when you're just playing as Solid Snake and Metal Gear Solid, all the characters introduced to you, like you're the player is starting fresh, but the characters have background. Through the game, you get their relationships. It develops with you. Yeah. So all the stuff like when Grey Fox appears and you're like, Snake knew him from beforehand, and when you get to know the background of the character, you're like, oh these guys been through something together. Yeah. Whereas I don't think they did the same for Metal Gear 2. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 2. They just it's like he's peripheral in his own story, but everyone else is kind of okay. You've got a main character, and you got the people that he doesn't have a direct relationship with, or they don't really build one enough for you to get attached to them.
Oh, they do. Like he's got the relationship with Rose, obviously, and Solidus is basically his dad because he adopted him and made him basically into Jack the Ripper, and then got the relationship with he's building with Snake because like I said, then the weird relationship he builds with like Otacon and Otacon's sister EE, who gets killed. Yeah. Then it builds up to the whole rivalry he has with Vamp. That comes back in Metal Gear Solid 4, which is a huge part. Like I said, when you play the other games, it makes Metal Gear Solid 2 make more sense like that. So because like I said, because I played all of them,
fair enough. I also though I did like number 3, Metal Gear Solid 3, like when they stripped down the technology because it takes place in the 60s. And it was a great game because I was like, wow, I can see how the Star of Darkness for Big Boss Naked Snake turned into what the character would become that we know when we were playing Metal Gear Solid 1. The character you hear about when you're playing Metal Gear Solid 1.
And sorry to go back to number 2, but like another reason why I really like number 2, that game has a lot of it's basically foretold what's going on now. Basically, like you got the whole AIs controlling the world, like sending out false information and all this stuff. So that's sort of like is really relevant now as well. It's quite like back then I thought this is a bit nuts, and then when I got older I was like, oh, and the technology advanced, like I see where they're going. Yep. And also like that, both Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 taught me life lessons. Like that's why I enjoy the series. 3's really good. Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. I think that's the only one I didn't
when I had to take down boss at the very end of it, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I turned off. I mean, I didn't turn it off. I left it on that screen for like 20 minutes. I walked down like, I've got to have a moment.
I have to say actually, what's funny with those bosses as well is the end. You can kill him when he's in his wheelchair. You can snap him, right?
Yeah.
and then you have to fight the Ocelot troops in his area. But what I did was, one time you're fighting him running around,
Yeah.
and you're looking for him. So I to snipe him. So I went onto the mountaintop and I crawled down.
Yeah.
To pull my rifle, but I was on top of it. All of a sudden, this question mark popped up. So someone laid down on an old man without knowing.
Yeah, I had
So
to.
he was camouflaged well, to be fair.
I had to chase him down with a shotgun and just killed him.
Oh,
yeah, because like
you come with an inventive. Oh, actually, you know what's funny? I'll get to it in a second. But you came up with an inventive solution to a sniper problem. Take him out. Close, crazy.
Literally just ran after him for like good bit, shotgunning him.
But I didn't mention it in number 1, but I did like how the different style of attacks you can try to take down an enemy with. For the sniper wolf battle, fair enough, you got to sniper the first time around, but the second time you can use rockets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And with Vulcan Raven, there's whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can try and find whatever. You can even try and fight him hand to hand if you can get close enough behind him.
Yeah,
if you want.
it takes forever.
But I was using the mines, lure him towards me, run around, drop a mine and stuff like that. But you can handgun him, you can rocket him.
Yeah.
He was the most flexible boss that you could attack in different ways.
Because they got the same in number 2 with Vamp. When you fight him in that room when he goes underwater and stuff.
Oh right.
I know there's 2
You
ways.
can use different weapons, but I think you still have to shoot him really.
No, yeah, I do know. I like. There's a quick way to do it. You can use the Nikita rocket launcher when he comes out.
Yeah.
Which is really hard. But it kills him like instantly, sort of thing. But I did a long way. I literally just had to keep shooting him, and punching him. And it took forever, but I did it. And I was telling my friends about it, like, you did? No, you didn't. My brother was like, he did. I wasn't going to do it. It took 45 minutes. So the second time around, just rocket launched it.
But I can't really say anything about 4 onwards because I haven't played it.
4 is amazing.
Yep.
The story's freaking nuts.
Okay.
Even though most of the game is like, when you get to certain points, it's like, installing this, you got to wait like half an hour to install. So you just literally just a bit of just snake smoke while it's installing.
Yeah.
It's a good end to the story.
Yeah.
And then you get 5, which is half a game. So annoying.
Well, the 2 halves to 5 really. Isn't it?
I mean, literally, the game is half a game. Not including Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes.
Yeah.
As a whole, it's literally
even between the two of them, they're only half a game. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's the whole Kojima stuff. Literally, when you get to Act 2, you're just repeating missions from Act 1, but in different sort of order, with little hints to what's going on, and then it ends because there's meant to be another act which got cut, and you can find the videos of it and stuff like that. So it just ends abruptly, like, what? Okay, cool, and then then you find out the real ending, like, oh, great, that's never going to happen now, and that's why there will never be another Metal Gear.
But, did you ever play any wrestling games on any of your consoles?
Yep, I've literally only stopped buying them.
Well, let's start with the first one and then work on to chronologically the ones that you did. You play WCW and WCW World Tour on the N64 was the first one I played.
Yeah, same.
Great mechanics on that game. Some of the people didn't have to finish it that they should have.
Yeah,
Hogan was like,
when you find out why, it makes sense.
Yeah. I know, I didn't blame it. It's just funny because when you see Scott Hall or do Outsider's Edge or Nash do a powerbomb and then you see Hogan do an eye poke, like, oh,
even Scott Hall's finisher wasn't the right one.
Oh, isn't it?
He had the sit out.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay. But no, that and WCW NWO Revenge, which had more of the correct mechanic moves for the game, and they divided it obviously into the right sections of NWO Black and White, NWO Red, Wolfpack, Raven's Flock, WCW itself,
and then the made up characters. I remember that,
which were technically New Japan characters.
Yeah, renamed for legal reasons.
Yeah.
Now I love that game as well. Revenge. We used to go at least like once a week as my friend Mayor's house, and we would literally just play that game for hours. And then,
did you ever do this? Is what we did. We because it's 4-player maximum, so we did it with 4 players, and it was like we do it elimination, and then the person who got eliminated first
Yeah.
has to get a submission put on them by the winner.
Oh no, we
So
didn't.
literally, you'd be like a figure four or sharpshooter.
Yeah.
The loser.
No, what we used to do was like, we'll do, you know, like.
I got sorry, I just want to interrupt that. I got put in
Yeah.
the torture rack at one point.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
Okay.
oh, that is not comfortable, man.
What did we used to do like the battle royale mode where
Yeah.
like you had 40 characters or whatever. So
Yeah.
we'll play literally all that, but you pick your first character first, and then you have to be whatever character comes out next, and that'll go on for ages. Or we'll do like handicap matches.
I think onto that. We tried. We start with your characters.
Yeah.
It'd be two of you just to make it easier. And you try to stick with your characters all the way, the same character all the way to the end. So you
Yeah.
help rescue the other person against certain things.
We did that more on No Mercy, but No Mercy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that trying to think what else was great, but that game was just one. That's like probably top 5
Yeah.
of all time.
So No Mercy next, or was it? No, it was W2000, right?
Yeah, I bought that again day of when it came out.
Yeah.
That because I was more of a WWF guy at the time. I preferred that as well, even though technically the same mechanics. It wasn't until the next one when they put in new mechanics.
Yeah.
But that was a great game.
Yeah, yeah.
And it had the entrances, which were just of the N64 limitations.
Yeah.
Was just like the first 10 seconds of entrance were on loop for the song.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is great. Then we move on to
No Mercy.
No Mercy.
Yeah.
Which I would say is the best wrestling game of all time, in my personal opinion. Because it had ladder match.
Yeah.
You could put people through tables. The storyline was weird. And if you was lucky like I was, you bought the copy that didn't have the save function, so you'll get so far and then reset. And then I had to go to a Chicanas, and they was like, "Oh yeah, we'll swap with you." Even though I didn't buy it from there.
Yeah.
They was like, "Yeah, no, we'll swap with you," and they gave me the right one.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. But yeah, again, me and my boys.
I don't remember playing it that much. As I actually have more memories of WCW, NWO, Revenge.
Yeah.
But those style of mechanics I did really enjoy.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like some of these lower tier characters that you, when you're watching wrestling, you're like, who are these characters?
Yeah.
But then when you're playing them, you're, oh yeah, they got decent moveset. Decent stuff. I mean, Canyon was actually Mortis / Canyon was really good in the game. We used to. I don't want to say I'll spam certain moves, but we knock someone into throw someone in the corner, do a splash, they stagger out, and then you could do like a roundhouse kick or something,
Yeah.
knock them back in the corner, do the
game, yeah.
Obviously, until people worked out the counter of it, but yeah, I just the good memories of those games. The WWF, what was the first one? Warzone?
Yeah, they were before, but yeah. Warzone, Attitude, they were alright, terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of I don't say the Mortal Kombat control buttons that you have to put to input and move.
Yeah.
And I don't think they look particularly that great.
No, the mechanics was correct.
Yeah. Not much to say about that then
No.
in that case. What's the next one? Oh, SmackDown, right? The SmackDown.
Yeah, we got SmackDown. SmackDown 1.
I'll tell you what's funny in SmackDown 1. I was Ken Shamrock and I just spammed the ankle lock. You knock someone down, you could just move from ankle lock to ankle lock to ankle lock to ankle lock, and they it wouldn't get up in time, and there was no counters on it.
Yeah.
So you just lay down and you just ankle lock someone until they tap out. That was it.
Because I don't think I didn't buy it. I didn't buy that one. That's the only SmackDown game I'd never owned. I did buy 6 months later, maybe 9 months later when they brought out SmackDown 2. I bought that.
That's Know Your Role?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't have. I don't think I bought one until Here Comes the Pain. So
Yeah, that's the fifth one.
if you've got any memories of those SmackDowns in between.
Yeah. Then it was SmackDown. The first one, the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
It was alright. It was pretty good. Again, we used to go to my friend Mayor's house. We used to play that for ages. The roster was a bit weird though. Like it was just when after they bought WCW, so it didn't have any WCW guys, but it had their move sets and clothes in it, which made no sense.
All right.
And then the fourth one, can't remember what that was called.
So Know Your Role. Just bring it. Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. Yeah, shut your mouth. That was good again. The graphics got better. Yeah. Gameplay. They took away a weird thing though. Because in number 3, for some reason, you could set up a chair and sit on it.
Yeah.
Don't know why you could do it. Then they didn't bring it back into the next one. But then the second greatest wrestling game of all time is
Here Comes the
Here
Pain.
Comes the Pain. Yeah. Again.
So where you could jump off the stage and you could do a frog splash from the top of the fist of the SmackDown stage all the way down.
Yeah.
And when you could do those crazy jumps, it's like wow. But if you miss, your character just flops around like it's crazy. But I do recall we were playing a 6-man match or something like that, and we had a computer in playing parts. What I did was actually I'm not sure if it's 100% this one or one of the later ones, but what happened in this game? I was Kurt Angle. My friends were like Stone Cold and Rock with the other characters. One of them had a pin, and he was trying to tell me to break the pin up.
Yeah.
But I then decided to put the ankle lock on the computer character, knowing that the ref's still got to count.
Yeah.
So if I get the tap in between, because this is where they didn't have the buttons to fight the tap out.
It just happens, doesn't it? Yeah.
So you just go through the ankle lock animation. So I assumed that my tap out would happen before the third count, so then I'd win. Right, but is this the only way I'm going to work it within the actual context of the game? Is the referee was counting, right?
Yeah.
My tap out happened on between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But I didn't win. However, we will say the ref wasn't facing me. I was doing it behind the referee. So if the referee didn't see it, it didn't count. Apparently, fair enough. But I was like to my friend, "No, I won that."
But the game is broken, so that wouldn't work. Yes, this is another game. Literally, I remember weekends we will literally go to my friend's mayor's house. We'll play this literally from night to day. I remember one time. Man,
you're gonna say the ladder matches that lasted an hour because that's what happened.
I remember literally one time we stayed at his house.
Yeah.
We started playing a game at 9 o'clock at night. Next thing we knew, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. His mum was like, "You guys didn't go to sleep." Like, what? Because it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. And she was doing breakfast. Fair enough. And at least we had breakfast and went back to playing the game.
Oh, jeez. But that's how you burn out your console, man.
PS2,
I then also played the SmackDown vs Raw, but at that point you don't specifically start keeping. When they start putting the years on it, you're like, I'm not going to keep track of the years. So I think it's 2008 I had, and one after that, which was 2010 maybe. I can't remember any specific things though, because I want to say they all merged together at certain points for me.
Yeah, and I think 2007 is when they put in the whole you can grab someone and click on the analog sticks and you haven't put them in different positions or whatever like that. Right. They added that.
Yeah.
And their whole.
Which one's the one they added? You have the button bash for the submissions.
I think that might have been from.
I like that mechanic. It was great because even though your life bar was down to almost nothing, you can still survive the submission. You could take a finisher, but you can survive the submissions if you bash hard enough.
I think it might be 2010. Then I know after 2011 is when they started calling it WWE / a year, whatever it is. And then they got okay. I'm trying to think. Then after that, literally just became rinse and repeat.
That's, when they start putting out games yearly, it's only about roster changes, and maybe they'll switch some moves out, and then they'll switch the stats slightly and stuff like that.
Or what they'll do is what FIFA does as well. They'll take away a feature for a couple of years, then bring it back and name it something else. And this new blah blah feature. I've been playing for too long to know.
Did you ever play the TNA game?
Yeah, I bought that.
It was alright. But it was like one of those things where we were saying about when you're playing first-person shooters and they artificially get harder. Same thing here. When you can counter the counter and counter counters, not infinitely, but to a certain point. To a certain point, 3 counters. The computer would always counter you no matter what. Yeah. It's just oh man, this is just silly. Yeah. Because you can't infinitely counter every single move I do, even my finishing. Yeah. Counter. But I like that mechanic where you can counter finishes and you can counter counters.
Yeah,
but it was just when you make it harder, it's implemented poorly. And I thought it had a decent storyline as well.
Yeah, the storyline that was the only thing I liked about it. That was pretty good. And
but what was odd is you can only do moves from the certain position.
Yeah.
So you couldn't grapple from the back, but if you had a German suplex, you grapple from the front and then
switch round
to the back. Yeah. But I think I had a decent roster and a decent moveset for stuff like that, and the classic TNA character. Styles, Mojo, Christopher Daniels, Rhino. I like how they altered his. So you can't really do running finishes, I don't think, in this game.
No.
They gave him belly suplex. Then he went to do the gore, which made sense in the context of the game.
I forgot about also you had on the N64, not N64, sorry, the GameCube.
Yeah.
You had WrestleMania 18, which was terrible, if I'm honest.
Right.
18?
Yeah. WrestleMania X8. I think that's what
it was terrible. I remember you could lose a ladder match by accidentally putting yourself through it.
Through the ladder?
No, not ladder match, sorry, table match.
Putting yourself through it?
Yeah.
You mean you step on it and it breaks and you lose?
No, say like, you was not on, say I went to, like, I was RVD and you was on the floor.
Yeah.
But the table's in the middle of it, something like that. And I'll hit you, but my knees will go through the table, but I would lose.
Oh, right. That's a very odd...
Yeah. Then you got 19. That was pretty good as well. One of them... 19 was weird because the storyline was... Because it had a story in it.
Yep.
That you got fired from the WWE, so you're going to destroy it. So you would fight people on construction sites and destroy WWE trucks and stuff. It's the weirdest thing.
All right.
You could kill people by throwing them off of a scaffolding. You're fighting on a construction site. Don't know what it is. Then they get annoyed and say, okay, we're going to give you a match at WrestleMania. So then you get a match at WrestleMania, and then Stephanie goes, congratulations, you won. And then you turn around and you get speared by Goldberg.
Right.
Okay, whatever. And then,
there's a couple of WCW games. There's a couple of WCW games, by the way, we forgot to mention that WCW Mayhem, WCW Thunder, and WCW...
Nitro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't played any...
and WCW Backstage Brawl. Yeah, they were terrible.
So we're just going to... I think I mentioned them, but well, you know, we didn't... if you haven't played them, you can't... You know,
I played them. They're terrible.
Okay. We'll just go skip right through them then, in that case.
They're crap.
And
then you had the Xbox exclusive wrestling games, like WWE Raw and Raw 2, which they're kind of sluggish, but they probably had the best creation for characters ever.
Okay.
Because like you can literally manipulate how they walk and stuff like that, and the entrances, they give you full control. Because like literally, if you're walking down the ring to a certain point, like on a stage, you can do something, and then fights will come out.
Okay.
Remember, it took me like 2 hours to make my guy, and it was the best. But it was broken as well because like say you had a ladder match, and throwing a story like this, the career sort of mode is like you run SmackDown and Raw for like a year or whatever it is, and like you can build, it can be 4 players as well, so you can build rivalries of people and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But say you had a match for a title, and your rival came in to interfere the match, and you won, your rival would win that title. So that was a broken thing. Someone was like, I'm going to win the World Heavyweight title because I want to be like Triple H, obviously at the time. And then Chris Benoit came in because he was my rival for some reason. So I beat Kane for the belt, and then next thing I'm like, where's the belt? And for some reason Chris Benoit, I was like, what the hell? And this is where we're going to stop our episode because we kind of ran over. So yeah, but thank you all for listening for this long time. We'll be back for the next part, and I've been your host Kyle Charles along with
CY Chan.
And thank you for taking a trip around the multiverse.